Shoot. This game was real simple. You got to give Indiana credit because they outworked us. They outworked us as a team. And it's too bad because we came out and we played great defense in the first quarter. And then the last three quarters we didn't play with a sense of urgency. It was almost like when we got up 12 or 13 in the first quarter, we thought Indiana would fold to a certain degree. And we just kind of went through the motions. And to give up a 35-point second quarter, a 28-point second quarter is not who we are. And that part was disappointing to see that there was no sense of urgency defensively. It was like we were okay trading baskets with them, and we haven't been like that in a while. And that's what makes this game more than any other game tough to swallow because of our demeanor on the defensive floor. And then you talk about 50-50 balls, long rebounds, loose balls. Indiana got most of them. At the end of the game, there was one that bounced in front of, I know, one or two of our guys, and we just kind of looked at it, and they came up with it, and it goes from a 3-point lead to, I think, a 1-point lead at that time, and now they gain confidence instead of us getting the possession because we did a nice job getting the stop and us going down and possibly scoring. So this game was tough to swallow from the standpoint that, like I said, defensively, there was just no sense of urgency after we got up 14 in the first quarter. And it's too bad because I thought offensively we did some nice things. We're going to get better at that end of the floor. But we showed some improvement from our last few games.
Like, how do you fix that problem of no urgency, the urgency?
Well, it's a tough part. I mean, John, that was, to me, that was one game where we didn't have it. And so, I don't know if it's a problem, but it was a problem the last three quarters, which makes it tough. So it was a problem tonight, and that's why we lost the ball game. We give Indiana credit because when they went down, they didn't waver. They just kept doing what they were doing, stayed in it, and they kept being physical. They kept being aggressive. They kept doing what they thought they needed to do, which were the little things to help them win the game.
You guys had 7 points in the break in the first quarter, and then I think 3 the rest of the way. Is that a function of that lack of defensive urgency, or is it something else?
Well, yeah, because they were scoring buckets, and so now in the first quarter they're missing shots, and we're limiting them to 1 rebound, and we're getting out and we're able to run. When they're making when they score 35 in the second quarter, it's hard to run, and they're making in the third quarter where they scored 28. I mean, if you give up 2 quarters where that's almost 70 points, that's not good basketball.
Defensively, would you attribute that same lack of urgency you're talking about to defending the perimeter? Went 55% from there.
A little bit, I mean, if we give up anything, you'd like to give up contested pull-up twos. That's the first thing. The second thing is contested threes, and there was a stretch there where Hibbert was hurting us a little bit, and so we started doubling the post, and they got some looks out of that. But we also just didn't execute defensively the right way. We didn't cover for one another the right way on the defense end of the floor. And then the biggest thing is we didn't come up with loose balls and or rebounds, especially at key times.
Mike, can you address that factor about the rebound battle?
Well, obviously, we had 18 ourselves offensive rebounds, but, they had some key ones, some key loose balls, some key 50-50 balls, and key rebounds down the stretch that helped them stay in the game when we had a chance to stretch it a couple of times. And, we have to do a better job of what I call putting bodies on bodies. We tend to turn because we're long, and 2 things, our guards tend to rely too much on our bigs to get it. And then our bigs at times tend to just turn and take a step towards the rim. And if it's a long shot and that ball gets kicked out long, if you take a step towards the rim without putting bodies on bodies in this league, quick athletic guys are going to be able to track down those 50-50 balls.
What did you like most about this game? I know it was a loss, but what do you take out of it positively?
Obviously we did some nice things offensively at times during this game. But I just felt that and then defensively, I thought we were pretty good in the first quarter. But then after that, our sense of urgency was just, it was non-existent. It was almost like, to me, and I'll go back and watch the tape, but to me, I felt like it was almost like we feel like we got this game. You know what I'm saying? And so now we're sitting here, we're floating, we're trading baskets, and we think we're doing something when really Indiana's just slowly coming back into the game. And there's just no sense of urgency to get stops, no sense of urgency to get rebounds. And then the ball stopped a little bit or stuck a little bit for a stretch, and next thing you know, it's a tie ball game. Points off of 42% from the field. I mean, that's a lot of points for us, right now. And I'm more disappointed in the way that we played defensively overall as a team. We gave up too many straight line drives. We gave up too many baskets where our defensive rules or principles should not allow the easy ones that we gave up, if that makes sense. So, Pau, that's part of who he is a facilitator. Yes, I'd like for him to score more, but he got us 10 assists on the night with 0 turnovers. So he was doing some things right out there offensively. I just thought, again, I go back to collectively as a unit, we did not do a good job defensively after the first quarter, nor did we do a good job rebounding the basketball.
Are you going to need him
regressing
to?
right now?
What's that?
You guys regressing right now?
I mean, it's one game defensively, so I don't think we're
But I mean,
regressing.
it's three losses. And
Oh, we're gonna go through some stretches where we have some losses. Hopefully not 3, 4, 5 in a row, but no matter what happens, we have to continue to stay the course and try to get better. But I don't look at it as we're regressing. Now, and we got to take everything in stride. We lost at Orlando, at Miami, and to a Pacer team that's pretty good. That I thought again we could have done some other things. In Orlando, I felt offensively we moved the ball. We just didn't make shots after going back and watching the tape, and we were decent defensively. I thought Miami, they were more aggressive as the game went on against us, and that was a tough loss down in Miami. But tonight against this team at this stage, I just felt that defensively we weren't there.
What about your defense allowed them to shoot so well from three-point range?
Yeah, yes, talked about this earlier. Hibbert got going for a little bit, and we didn't do a good job of double teaming and then closing out. But that's part of what I was talking about too, in terms of our rotations. Our rotations were not good, and they've been pretty good as of now. Meaning that if the ball gets kicked, we have one guy closing, but then nobody else closes, and we kind of sit there and watch the guy shoot the ball. And we have to do a better job of giving what I call multiple effort, and multiple effort to contest and not allowing middle drives. And we didn't do that tonight. Our defense did not do a good job staying tight. It broke down, and there was no sense of urgency, and nor did we rebound, especially at key times.
Managed to get Meta in the post.
Say it one more time.
Managed to get Meta in the post a little more early. Was that design or?
Yeah, I still think we can play through Medicine with that second unit, and it was good to see him, step up and score some buckets inside and hit a couple of jumpers, So it was good to see him come off the snide, I guess, a little bit.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.